Website security is incredibly important to keep your website running smooth and operating correctly, but also for protecting you as well as your customers. In this video, we're going to talk through 10 quick tips for website security. Tip number one is choose a really good and reputable website hosting provider. If you've got a buddy or someone kind of random who hosts websites, proceed with a little bit of caution. You want to make sure when you're hosting your website, you're going with a very experienced and reliable website hosting provider. Ideally, a company that provides 24/7 customer service as well as daily backups for your website. So if anything ever goes awry, you can quickly get help and or restore your website to the way it was before there was any security breach. Two really good website hosting providers we recommend at Buddy are WP Engine and SiteGround, particularly if you're using WordPress for your website. The second tip, and this is building off our first tip, is do daily website backups, or at least back up your website whenever you're making a change to your website as well. That way, if anything happens, if you get hacked, if your site crashes in any form, you can easily go back and revert your website back to the way it was before that incident happened. Ideally, your hosting provider would provide automatic daily backups for you already, or if you use WordPress, you can install a backup plugin, or otherwise you can use an FTP client or something like that to manually back up and download your files on a regular basis. Number three, use an SSL certificate. This helps make sure your website's encrypted as people use your site, and this is essential if you use e-commerce or membership sites or other sorts of websites where there's some sort of interaction, logging in, transactions, those sort of things. If you're not familiar with what SSL is, you can contact us at Buddy or work with your web developer that can help you out on that front. Number four, let's talk about some quick tips about logins. Admin is usually a stock username. Don't use admin. People trying to hack into your website usually will try admin as one of their first attempts to break into your site. So make sure you use a unique username different than admin. Along with that, number five, use unique, non-obvious passwords. Your password should not be password or 123456 or something like that. Make sure you use complex, non-intuitive passwords to maximize your security. Number six, use two-factor authentication when logging into your website backend whenever possible. Two-factor authentication is one of those techniques where when you're logging in, the website will want to use your email and send you a verification email, verification text, something of that nature. That extra layer of authentication can really help with security for your website. Tip number seven, manage and keep on top of who has access to the behind the scenes of your website. In WordPress, you can easily change this setting by going to settings and then users and seeing who has access to your site and on what levels. And then along with that, you want to make sure, one, that people don't have access if they don't need it. So remove anybody who doesn't need behind the scenes access to your website. And then second, make sure their access settings are appropriate for how they're going to access the website. So for example, if you have somebody helping out that's just going to add blog posts, they don't need full administrator access to every aspect of your website. Managing those roles of who can do what behind the scenes to your website will go a long way to improving your website security. Number eight, keep the underlying technology that your website's built on up to date. Using the latest technology will help make sure you're ahead of any security breaches or risks or things like that. If you're using WordPress as a platform for your website, updating WordPress and an underlying platform, as well as any plugins you're using, is as simple as updating apps on your smartphone. Usually you just click a button, the update will process, and you'll be good to go. So checking that weekly or monthly will help make sure you're using the most latest technology at all times. Number nine, if you're using WordPress, you want to make sure that any plugins you're using are reputable. So whether that's for photo galleries or contact forms or any other technology, you want to make sure you're only using plugins that have a long, consistent history of regular updates, that get great customer reviews and a lot of stars. The reason is you don't want to use fly-by-night or newer plugins if they're not reputable. You want to make sure that technology and those plugins are regularly keeping ahead of any breaches and any security concerns as well. And then last, number 10, again, if you're using WordPress, plugins again can be security risks. So make sure that if you're using any plugins, you keep those updated. But number 10 is delete any plugins you're not using. There's no need to keep plugins if they're not being actively used on your website. So get rid of those and prevent those security risks that might come along with those. So there you have it. 10 quick tips on maximizing your website's security. So of course, if we can be a resource for you at Buddy, whether it's regarding website security or website needs in general, feel free to let us know. We're very happy to talk, have a conversation, no pressure, no obligation. If you'd like to learn more about our team at Buddy, you can visit our website at www.buddywdd.com. And if you'd like to get in touch, you can just click on the button in the upper right-hand corner, answer a few quick questions, and we'll follow up right away to schedule some time to chat. So as always, hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching, and talk to you again real soon.